Okay, call the meeting to order, March 23rd, 2026 at 6:30 p.m. And we begin with the pledge of allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call. Campbell.
Here.
Waldee.
Here.
DeShane.
Here.
Eddie here. Whalen's excused. Approval of the agenda.
Make a motion to approve?
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Public comment, 2 minutes, agenda items only.
Jeremy Bloom, 2110 Fraser Road. Well, I attended the budget workshop last week, I guess it was. A couple questions, because I see they are on this meeting. Why the large increase in deputy clerk and deputy treasurer positions? What were the previous year's amounts? How many times did the previous treasurer have a deputy in her office? I thought we were trying to save money on attorney budgets. That was quite a large increase for attorney fees in this proposed budget. Also the increase in trustee salaries. It's kind of interesting how the two trustees vote to have the bill pay meetings, and that also increases their pocketbooks because they receive more money. And I'm not really sure. I see here it says amend bill pay resolution. Why the change in the bill pay resolution? Is it now that we pushed out the previous clerk, we can make things easier for the clerk and treasurer's office to work together? That's all I got this time for the meeting.
Public comment. It matters if you're going to speak, Marty, what's on the agenda.
I don't think it's on the agenda.
Okay. Then if you would just wait for the last one. Public comment. Okay, then close public comment. Unfinished business, election support. This is a proposal from Jerry Putt, who helped in the last election, and his wife Mary. Clerk Waldee, would you like to expand on any of that?
Yeah, I've been in contact last Thursday, as a matter of fact. After our budget workshop, where we hashed out some numbers on different things, Thursday I was able to speak with Jerry about what he thought it would cost to give us the training that we need for the QVF training to clear up the QVF records that we have, the outstanding 500, help with the election, getting out the permanent ballots that are mailed out, and the things that we missed during the beginning part of the February election. We agreed that $4,000 would be a good part to that. We also agreed that it would be conducted hourly, meaning that we are going to log the times of the people that are coming in to help us. Certain people of his team are going to be at a $50 an hour. Other members of the team are going to be at $28 an hour, but we are going to log their hours. I also stressed to him that I don't care if it's a penny over $4,000, it's going to need board approval to have that money carried over. One of the things that he told us, and it's an email that we got from him, basically stating that the IT part, which we don't know anything about, that's the person that comes in and downloads all the software, downloads the records from the state the day of the election and post-election. That person usually makes about $500 from what he can recollect. And then the third item is getting Wi-Fi over to the hall, which we desperately need for the election. And then the second email I got is from Mary Putt, which breaks down the people that are going to be hourly and their hourly pay rates.
So, pre-meeting we talked and you were gonna make a motion for 6,000.
That's $6,000. 4,000 of that is to cover the Jerry Putt's team, which I'm hoping in that $4,000 will also include the extra inspection, the election inspectors, and then the money for the contractor for the IT department would actually come out of a different pool of fund in the election funding, and then whatever it's going to cost to get Wi-Fi over to the building.
That shouldn't be an election expense, it's something we were already working on, so there's already budget for that.
I think it's been approved, correct?
No. What's been approved is, back in November, I believe, we had approved for the Wi-Fi to be fixed in this building, since it didn't make any sense the way that it was set up, and that has taken forever to actually get a date for that. I'm not sure why it has taken so long for that to be the case. Once that Wi-Fi is fixed, they have a plan to be able to send it over to the hall so that there's Wi-Fi in that building. We have to actually send it from this building to accomplish the goals that we need to. So they have kind of done it as a phase.
Didn't we have an estimate though for it?
We had an estimate only for the Wi-Fi fixing here.
Okay.
So, but there's
Right,
enough there's enough in the budget for the next fiscal year to cover that. I don't know why it's taken so long. It's kind of frustrating.
Is 6,000 enough to get going so we can?
I think 6,000 would be more than enough. I think it's actually too much, but
I'll make a motion for the clerk's office to receive a $6,000 budget for training and to get the election items out that need to be.
I would like to amend that a bit to specifically put in the motion that it will be very itemized, because that was the problem the last time. That was not properly itemized.
yes,
So-
I'm working on that as we speak.
Yeah.
That's why I'm saying we're going to log the hours specifically, and we're going to hold on to the timesheets ourselves. That way we
Yeah.
can track the hours accordingly.
I don't think it's just the hours, though. I think all of it needs to be properly itemized. There was a lot of stuff just grouped
Yeah.
together in that last proposing. With that
The
amendment,
only other
I'll
thing that
second
needs to be
that.
put in there is the postage, but that's out of a different account fund.
It is, and I think we had accounted for that with the
In the
proposal.
budget we did, yes.
Yeah, I will second that with that amended verbiage.
So are we amending that with the
The postage is an entirely different,
Yeah.
different
But
entity.
you don't need that.
No, that's already approved in the budget. Well, it will be approved when we approve the budget. That was already calculated into our costs.
Okay. All right. So roll call. Campbell.
Yes.
Waldee.
Yes.
Pacino.
Yes.
Eddie, yes. 2026-2027 budget draft number 2.
Since we have the public hearing on Wednesday, this is really just for information, correct?
Oh, it's posted for the election.
Yeah.
Okay.
But that includes 3 elections.
Okay.
This is really just for information since we have a public hearing Wednesday, correct?
Yes, yes.
Okay, Linwood Stormwater, station invoice. You had a meeting after, did you?
I spoke with Frazier on Thursday morning. Greg, their supervisor, and Pat, their clerk, Mark, I'm sorry, Mark, said that they are going to see if they can pull a couple more bids. They were looking for 3 more quotes, and then they're ready to move forward. But this is the only one, they got the same one we got, and they're ready to move forward as soon as.
Because George Augustiniak at the Bay County Road Commission meeting told me that they passed it on last Wednesday at the Road Commission meeting.
They passed it, but they want to confirm that that's the best value.
I'm just going by what they told me Thursday morning.
I've gotten a little bit of different information as well. I talked to Carrie Christian as well, and they did move this bill out, so it will be in the next budget year for both us and for Frazier.
So the logic of the 19.4 versus,
The 19.4 is just the material so they can get them on hand, so that they're ready to move forward.
And the one question I had about that, was that after it had already been split, or was that the total cost and then we're splitting it?
It is my understanding that both us and Frazier received same invoice for the same amount for each of us to pay.
so the only difference is 11,000 in labor.
Right. That is my understanding in talking with Carrie.
So we're gonna wait to pass this, or are we passing it for the next budget, just to come out of the next fiscal year budget?
Well, even with the change in the invoice, it has a due date of April 8th. She did say, however, that she said I think things are good for it, so,
Till the 13th.
yeah.
It's your call, what do you want to do?
I'd like to make a motion to pay this invoice.
Out of 26, 27 budget.
26, 27 budget.
Second.
Of $19,478.77, which
Yes.
is partial.
That's materials only, no labor, fringe, or.
Okay, roll call, Waldee,
Yes.
Eddie, yes, Campbell,
Yes.
DeShana.
Yes.
New business, bill pay.
Bills. Okay, time of the month. Usually they were kind of light for us this time around. If you want to call it light, it came out to $14,691.81. Because it's the end of the year, some of the GLs we took them out of got a little creative. It's not what we normally do. We did that because I didn't want to have to transfer money back and forth between other accounts that had a surplus in them. So, but they're all paid and we're good. I just need approval.
I'll make a motion to pay the bills.
I'll second.
Roll call, Eddie, yes, DeShana,
Yes.
Campbell,
Yes.
Waldee.
Yes.
Linwood Civic Improvement Club bill. Me and Charlie attended the LCIC meeting last week, and it was kind of a question that Charlie brought up, that if we had the money to pay that, because it is for 2025, if we had the funding to pay the Linwood Civic Improvement Club bill from last year.
So we did some looking, Brian and I, and this is pretty much on par with when we usually get it.
Correct.
So, just time frame wise, it is climbing significantly each year.
Well, there's a reason. I was sitting in that meeting, our liability at the end of the road is
Yeah, there's
200% different.
Yeah,
You've got more lawn down there, more maintenance down there. And so, yeah, it did go up. The overall bill basically grew from about $9,000 a year to the overall bill being just under $15,000.
so obviously this has changed significantly over the years that you and I have been on the board, as far as the amount. I remember talking at one point about budgeting appropriately for our third on this, and we were talking, what, like $1,000–1,200, and so this has grown significantly. I guess my only concern would be going forward that it's not so open-ended. But, you know, we have some conversation about what kind of estimates they're getting for this, because it has grown a lot.
Well, and they are getting multiple,
Yeah,
they're getting multiple estimates for lawn care this year.
I think I looked and we paid this bill in June last year.
right,
Um,
but it was like 3,000.
I don't think it was 21 or 2200.
No,
It
it's
was
okay.
three,
It was 3,000.
but, you know, since it is the 25 year, it'd be nice to get this on track so that it's paid in the calendar that it resembles and not
So chances are,
the road.
chances are that that will require a little bit more amending. So my guess would be that once everything is closed down for this fiscal year, that we'll probably have a few final amendments to make.
And this would be one.
Because, you know, we just can't completely foresee what's gonna come in, and we've run into that even since the last amendments were passed. I mean, obviously, we were doing a year's worth of amendments, but at the same time, there was some unexpected stuff that had come in. So that's why amendments are on again. We'll probably have to do it one more time to really clean it up. This was already approved, though, and okay.
Yeah, it's,
Yeah, so the direct deposit, and I just want everybody to know that Pickle Festival, you should all be excited. It's up and going for this year, and it's gonna be massive. It is really gonna be something up there. I mean, all the stuff that we heard at that meeting, they have their stuff together. It's gonna be, I think, something that we haven't seen in many years at Ever. I think it's gonna be that big. So, we're on new business B, direct deposit,
That
Don't
would,
forget, parade is on Sunday and not Saturday this year.
and they're working on bingo, if anybody's into bingo.
we had a very informative meeting with several of our bankers from our payroll bank, and was able to get some information on how we could pivot finally into direct deposit. Talked a little bit with Megan about that as well, with some of the information that I received. So it appears as though we can move forward with direct deposit. It's gonna cost $25 a month. However, we're probably going to save nearly that much in postage. So it doesn't even make any sense not to do it. We are tentatively shooting for April 20th as the first date, but we might have to move it a little depending on getting all the forms in. And I know that in talking with the fire chief, he's had conversations as well with the firemen to make sure that they're gonna be able to provide the information that we need, and giving them some information as well if they were to choose to open an account, if there's a little bit of benefit to them there as well. They stay with our payroll bank, so just
Great.
looking for a motion to move forward with that.
Motion,
second,
roll call, DeShano,
Yes.
Eddie, yes, Waldee,
yes.
Campbell, yes. And then bill pay resolution.
So this is just removing the second meeting and cleaning up a little bit of the documentation between the two offices, including starting to open up the ACH and EFT. We've had to continue through my office with EFTs for state and federal withholding because they do not allow payments otherwise. So we will be finalizing transferring that back to the clerk's office. And now that the bills are much more on track, and obviously it was only about $14,000 this time, should be manageable to do in one meeting for approval.
Okay, I'll make a motion to amend the bill pay resolution.
I will second.
Roll call, Campbell,
Yes.
Eddie, yes, DeShano,
Yes.
Waldee.
Yes.
Road commission, chip and seal cost estimate.
Do we still have time to get a comparative quote for chip and seal, perhaps even on Schmidt.
Oh, yeah.
I think I'd be interested in seeing that comparatively, because that was a pretty high bill, and it's a pretty low population road. If it cuts that in half, that gives us a lot more ability to take care of
On
things.
Schmidt Road.
Not Schmidt, I'm
Seidler.
sorry, Seidler, I'm so
Oh,
sorry, I said it
Seidler.
wrong. Yeah, the Seidler road fix. I think that might be a better way to go, because that one was like, what,
It's
160
because of
some
the
thousand?
condition of the road. They said that
Yeah.
it's gotta be wedged to hold the asphalt. They had a lot of explanations on that. Chip and seal would really be a very small Band-Aid. I was advised by Chad Wazirka that this was really the county's best fix for that. And we signed the contract.
No, I mean, if it's the best fix, then let's,
I think it's the best fix.
We signed the contract for River.
Correct. No.
No.
No, we signed the contract for Bucktown, Ernest.
We agreed for them to put it out for bid. We didn't actually approve the bids for it yet, because they were just estimated costs until they put it
Yeah,
out to bid.
that's the way their contract is. If you were to go to last year, that's whatever they send out for estimates is other than that, they wouldn't even do the estimate on that. They wouldn't send it to the next phase.
Because we were talking about holding off on
We did hold off on
River.
Cottage Grove and everything.
We did.
Yeah.
This week.
all right.
How many houses are on Seidler in the stretch? How many's in the row?
Well, it's not that many houses. It's the condition of the road. It's the worst road in our whole township.
But it's also mostly farmland, so it's getting more heavy equipment traffic.
I wouldn't say that. I think it's just been the most neglected.
Okay.
That's my opinion of it. It's been a long time. I'd say that you could compare it to the village of Linwood, how long it's been. I mean, you drive that road, it's got some crappy patchwork on it. Like, they used a Bobcat last year just to fill in the holes because they're so big.
Wow. So we're looking at $77,000 on this?
Well, that's if we decide to go forward with any of this.
But we've already got estimates out for 280.
Correct. For 260.
What is the timeline on this for deciding?
Oh, I think we got a couple months on chip seal. It's really the asphalt that they need to get going on for, all the bid work.
So why don't we do a little more budget talk before we move forward on this and just see where that lands?
I'd rather just put it to bed.
Well, we need to look at the budget.
I understand that.
Because 280 is pretty significant
I agree.
already. To add it and bring it up to 350, I think we need to look at a few things first, because to dump that much money into the roads is gonna pull away from some other things that also need to be done. So I think there just needs to be more conversation rather than just agreeing.
Yeah, right now, just so you're aware that everything with the road commission is happening, and I'd say by the end of April, we just need to know what we're doing.
Yeah, I think a little more thought on it would probably be safer than approving that right now.
Well, if we
where
review-
we are.
Maybe they can give us some numbers. Maybe the numbers, well, actually, the numbers aren't going to be better because petroleum products
Yeah,
are.
So this is all with the
Okay.
inflation. This is with
Okay.
their
Yeah.
new prices.
I think if we've got a little
It's
time.
no
that-
different than salt. They're buying their salt right now for next year. They
Yeah.
already know in advance what. So we will take the road commission chip and seal cost estimate and table till more discussion on the budget.
Motion to table?
Motion to table.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Budget amendments, 25, 26.
So, for this is just some additional, when we had payroll hit and a few extra bills hit, and a couple of other little wiggles that happened here. So the one that is on the bottom highlighted in yellow will take care of the two up top that are highlighted in yellow. The one that is not highlighted would take care of all the rest of them, and this should get us pretty close, except for maybe a little bit with the bills.
Yeah.
And just making sure everything's good on payroll.
But we should be able to close out the year.
Yeah, it's just had a few things go
Motion
over.
to accept the budget amendments for 2025 and 2026.
Second?
Roll call, DeShana,
Yes,
Eddie, yes, Campbell,
Yes.
Waldee.
Yes.
Capacity study for the sewer system. Did everybody get the agreement with Frazier so that they understand why Frazier isn't getting a cut out of this? The Bay County Department of Water and Sewer takes a cut, Bayview Foods took a cut, and then we take a cut because we own the infrastructure. I think this is going to be, I went to it's called the Eastern Michigan Council of Governments meeting down in Bridgeport Township on Friday, and I mentioned this to many of those people because it was nice because Representative Beerline's down there in office down there at the Township Hall. So I got to talk with him about many of the bills that are going to affect our zoning. That was talked about at the DCTOA last week also. So there's a lot of concerns we should have in the future to do with many of the things that are going on in Lansing right now. But this capacity study, I mentioned it to these people for the possibility of finding the funding. I sent letters last week to the Water and Sewer Department for Slotkin, Peters, and trying to think of one other, but in support of trying to find federal and state funding for this project. So we're Representative Beeson has hired, or not hired, but been a part of hiring Fleiss and Vandenbrink for this project. That is who was taking care of the meeting I was at in Bridgeport Township last week, so I got to discuss a lot of these issues with them before the meeting. I do think that there's a lot of positives we have with this being an agricultural need. I know when Trustee Campbell was in attendance at the meeting at Mr. Chips, Bayview Foods, that is the goal, is to find, the Michigan Department of Agriculture and Rural Development to fund some of this. So the capacity study is from Bayview Foods, so that everybody knows, all the way to the wastewater treatment plant. It is not what we originally thought we'd be a part of, just from Bayview Foods to Linwood Road. This is a capacity study for the future. We will know of what our total infrastructure can take in the future here. And that is also with other municipalities wanting to tap into our infrastructure, such as South Linwood Beach, on the north side of Linwood Road. They're very interested in it, but they got to figure out how to fund it and tap in. But
It was over $1 million. It was like $1.3 million to touch that section because it has no choice but to go under the road. And
there's hurdles, but this will at least give the township foundation to build off of, and what we're going to need to find for funding, because this is not going to be a cheap project. I'm letting everybody know that is. But we'll have answers that the higher up levels of government can search for the funds to help us out, so that Calhoun residents aren't the ones that take the jab on this.
this comes out of our,
this isn't just Calhoun, but this is actually about, you have to realize, anybody that's in the manufacturing business, from Mr. Chips all the way to the wastewater treatment plant, we're talking all those types of organizations, as they grow, have to be able to tap into. So the system we're looking at is a system that if Williams Cheese said we need to tap in with a bigger line, we can then handle this. And not just Williams, but Saginaw Bay Plastics,
And-
anybody, and more development.
And the
with
biggest, right now, the problem is the residents, anybody within 200 feet of our sewer, if their septic goes out, they're mandatory to tap in. Well, the sewer creates so much pressure, the resident sewage. If Bayview Foods is flowing, theirs isn't.
They're in trouble.
They're in trouble.
It's
So
a matter.
this is, the goal is to get rid of that problem, but one of the questions was, when you get a bigger line, like, we only have 4-inch right now. If you were to go to 8-inch, it could be too big.
But on a force main, that doesn't work so well.
The flow of it has to be like 8.8 miles an hour inside of that tube to push the sludge through. So we were proposed, much like with the sewer system, pigs they call it, to clean out. This puts all that on hold that the Department of Water and Sewer brought to us a couple months ago. And we don't waste the money on a 4-inch pig system now. We look for the government higher-ups to say, hey, what can you do for us to help this job creator up there?
Become a reality.
Yeah,
And
so
it's better paying jobs. I mean,
I look at this much like, you know, Marty's situation. The township is just looking into something that we gotta look further for better help because the residents can't afford what's needed for that, but.
So our third of this capacity study comes out of our sewer fund at DWS?
I do believe that we can work that with Carrie. I think that's 100%.
And it's basically almost 10 grand.
$9,934.
Oh, 33.
And
They're taking the
normally,
extra buck.
normally we would have a $66,000 payment out of that. a year.
Right.
But we paid it off last year, so it's nice to know that.
It's a sixth of that. Okay.
Well, we're also going to be, we only have, I believe, 2 years left on the annual assessment on Bayview as well. We have 2 years left on that agreement, so. So at this, I mean, as long as we don't have to account for this because it's gonna come out of our sewer fund, then I will make the motion to move forward with the capacity study.
Roll call, Waldee,
Yes.
Bashana,
Yes.
Eddie, yes, Campbell.
Yes.
Communication.
I had something that came in late this afternoon. And it came in reference to, and there's one copy because I couldn't get anything to copy here when I was home for break. I had printed it off there. Sandra L. Page Trust, 204 Russell Road, Calcallen, Michigan, 48631. Sirs, Madam, I submitted a change of property lines to Calcallen Township on 3/10/26 to our current township assessor for review and processing to the Bay County office for changes. These conversations with the assessor started in February of 2026. To date, I see that this has not been yet processed. This was adjudicated in 2016 and was not filed with the township until this time. Please bring this matter to the attention of the board as I wish to sell the property and need to have this recorded properly in order for us to proceed. Sincerely, David Page, trustee of Sandy L. Page Trust, 204 Russell Road, Calcallen.
Motion to accept communication.
Oh, there we go. I have the original text.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Public comment.
Yeah.
I'm Marty Hogan from 885 South Linwood Beach Road, and the drainage project that Brad was talking about is South Linwood Beach Road from Bowtel to the end of the road. The estimate came in from the engineers at, I think it was $1.94 million. It was only going to cost the residents of that road $300 a month for the next 30 years, which we knew was never going to happen. Thanks to Tim Beeson and Brad, the money was acquired from the state. And at the last meeting on March 9th, we were assured that we would get updates on the progress of what's going on with the road project. I haven't seen any updates on the website. I was just wondering if there are any updates, what's going on, who's responsible for putting the updates out to the public? Is it
I
already on the web?
believe Mark Norton and Treasurer DeShane all got an account set up to receive those funds, but I can,
The federal government has a ton of fun. So it is in process. I've been in communication with the feds as well as the state level. Unfortunately, some things lapsed, so I've been jumping through the hoops in order to get that finalized, but I just talked with the contact at the state today, so it should get as finalized as we can get it until the feds do what they need to do to their end. So it's a process. It's been a lot of stuff.
Okay.
keep asking.
I just want also to ask that this be an ongoing agenda item on the monthly town board meetings.
Yeah, it was supposed to be
Well,
posted on unfinished business,
yeah.
when you talked about trying to make sure of, but
Yeah, Mark Norton is gonna, I think he said that he's gonna show up monthly to update us on this at our regular meetings. So, Marty, I would say on April 13th, you should get a good update on
Okay.
everything.
Unfortunately, I won't be able to be here.
I'll make sure it's on.
I'll be down in Ann Arbor for treatment that day. But I can have Bob Jinky come.
thank you.
Public comment.
Go ahead, I just have a couple things I need to ask.
Lisa here at Coquitlam Township. I just wanted to thank Laurie, Charlie, and Megan for coming to the courthouse the other day. In my opinion, by having you come and support the resident from a neighboring township who was accused of threatening and assaulting me after the February 9th board meeting, it shows which of our elected officials support someone arrested for assaulting a tax-paying resident in their township. After the hearing, my sister and I happened to walk into G's restaurant. And who was there? They were all there celebrating that the PPO that I requested.
I was not present.
Okay.
Make that clear, I was not in,
They were out there celebrating that the PPO that I requested against her was denied. I'd like to know how you can justify your support of her, unless maybe you guys were just a part of it. Is your hatred for me so deep that you would celebrate someone accused of injuring me? She told the police when she was arrested that she did not feel as though she had done anything wrong. I have never heard of such disgraceful behavior from our elected officials. I would say you should be ashamed, especially you, Rev Campbell, a man of God. But I doubt any of you understand what that word means.
Public comment. Chief?
I should have just had Megan put me on I should just have her put me on the second one if I don't have nothing. It'd be easy to get by. Two things real quick. I can pay it with the credit card, but I just wanted to get the okay. It's the $250 to activate the new radio so the state will do their thing. And that's all it is. I can pay it with the credit card, so it's simple and easy. I just didn't want to do it without getting approval today. So it's just, the state has to have their hands in on everything. They can't not go without.
That's not the new Kenwood.
That's for the new Kenwood radio. So once I get this in there, then that puts us in the queue for them to put the template and do their thing or whatever else. So
And if you put it in now, it's gonna be next budget year anyway, like we
yes,
agreed,
correct.
so.
It'll
you
be
should
next budget year, but that's what it's for. So I didn't want to do anything with it until I made sure it was all right. And I called Bach today. They are going to come out. They'll get a hold of me whenever and take a look at the lights. So he said I gave him my cell phone number, so when they can come out, they'll just come out and all they want to know is how big a ladder they have to bring. So
A big one.
they should bring the power.
Oh.
So, yeah. So other than that, that's good. Everything else I can wait till April on. Those are just two things I wanted to get cleaned up real quick.
Public comment.
Thanks.
I think we gotta do that.
It's within the
Okay,
limit.
Yeah.
So
I'm just making sure.
it's, I mean, he brought it to us, so we can authorize that.
Yeah.
First comes doors, I'll stroke out mine.
Public comment. Public comment. Closing public comment. Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Jim.
I got comments.
Absolutely.